I slapped the young lady from the Beijing circle. To reform me and make me behave, my fiancé locked me in a pitch-black haunted house for 3 days. My claustrophobia flared up, leaving me on the brink of death. Someone asked him, "Yuki is your fiancé after all, your future wife. Knowing she has claustrophobia, how can you punish her so cruelly?" Serena is my bottom line. Yuki is just the nanny's daughter, and a little stutterer at that. She's not worthy of being my wife. Once Serena and I are married, I'll keep this little stutterer on the side, it won't wrong her. He had completely forgotten that our engagement was something he had begged for, even knocking his head until it bled. On the day he secretly married behind my back, I was already unmoved. I pulled out my SIM card and got into the man's Maybach parked in the night. A resounding slap landed heavily on the face of Serena, the young lady from the Beijing circle. My palm stung fiercely and even trembled. The entire banquet hall fell silent, followed by the crowd's criticisms. Didn't Ethan tell us that his little fiancée is timid and gentle? Serena just called her a little stutterer and got slapped for it? It's not like Ethan hasn't said that Yuki only lets him call her little stutterer, she's quite delicate. Isn't her stuttering a fact? Facts can't be stated? As a nanny's daughter raised in the Pei family from childhood, what does she have to be arrogant about? Offending Serena is challenging the entire Xia family. Yuki, hurry up and apologize to our Serena. Serena had been pampered since childhood and had never been hit. She was stunned in place for a long time after I slapped her. Someone stepped forward to hold back the erupting Serena. "Serena, this little stutterer is still someone Ethan holds dear. Even if we punish her, we should consult Ethan first, right?" "I don't think so. Didn't Ethan instruct her not to show her face in public?" Today's birthday banquet for Ethan was organized single-handedly by our Serena, and Yuki just comes and hits someone. The entire banquet hall was divided in opinions, some defended me, but most were on Serena's side. "What are you all arguing about?" Ethan arrived late after finishing his video conference. Due to Serena's mockery, my sense of shame reached its peak. Seeing this man I had depended on since childhood, I ran over in big strides. He caught me in his arms, seeing my eyes red. He seemed to have forgotten that he told me to wait at home today. "I shouldn't be here either," he gently comforted me. "Who made you upset?" I wanted to vent all my grievances, I had so much to say, but I was a stutterer. I could only shorten my sentences as much as possible. "Serena?" Ethan frowned. I nodded. "She called me a little stutterer." After struggling to finish this sentence, my tears suddenly poured out. Serena came over covering her face. "Brother Ethan, I don't know where I offended Yuki. I just thought her way of speaking was cute and said little stutterer, and she slapped me. Look, is my face swollen?" Serena's expression evoked pity. Ethan suddenly pushed me away, looking at me with eyes like cold ice. Was she wrong? Apologize to Serena. My heart was shattered in that moment by his cold words. My limbs were stiff, and my brain was numb. Ethan said, "You struck first. As long as you apologize to Serena, you can stay tonight to celebrate my birthday with me." Today was Ethan's birthday. He was worried I couldn't fit into this crowded circle, so he told me to stay home obediently and wait for him. Every previous birthday was spent with me. Each year, I would personally make him a birthday cake. This year was the same. I don't like crowds, so I thought I'd deliver the cake and leave. After entering, everyone led by Serena surrounded me. "Yuki, why are you here? Didn't Ethan tell you not to come? In this upper-class circle, he said you'd just embarrass him if you came." I anxiously shook my head. No, he was worried you couldn't fit into this circle?" I nodded. The crowd burst into laughter. "She's so naive, she actually believed it." "I came to deliver the cake, I'll leave now." Serena grabbed me and made me look at the 2-meter-high cake in the middle. "This is so shabby. Are you deliberately trying to embarrass brother Ethan? If this gets out, what about his reputation?" She signaled to the people behind her. 2 came up to snatch the cake I made. I desperately protected it, but in the end, it fell apart and dropped to the ground. Endless mockery exploded in my ears. If you think it's a pity, you can crawl on the ground and lick the cake clean. I said angrily, Serena. You, apologize to me. Serena acted as if she heard some incredible joke. Her friends laughed again, her stuttering looked so funny, ha ha ha. Serena also covered her mouth and laughed. She asked me, is your stuttering congenital? If it is, won't you be a little stutterer for life? I seem to have heard that you were abandoned by your parents right after birth, adopted by an infertile couple for a few years, then they had their own child and abandoned you again. Finally, the Pei family's nanny picked you up. That nanny couldn't stand her husband's domestic violence, killed him in retaliation, and then committed suicide in front of you. Is that how you got scared into this? If it weren't for Ethan begging Lady Daisy to keep this orphan in the Pei family, who knows where she'd be begging now? She's too timid and fragile. If it weren't for Ethan protecting her all these years, she'd probably be bullied to death. So shameless, leeching off the Pei family for so many years, she only deserves to be a useless parasite. Serena pretended to stop her friends who were insulting me. Don't say that about a little stutterer. What if she comes to leech off your families later? I couldn't hold back anymore and rushed forward to slap Serena. She condoned those upper-class youths bullying me, she deserved it. After hitting her, I was extremely scared because this time Ethan wasn't backing me up. I didn't know how Serena would retaliate. In extreme panic, I hoped Ethan would come soon to rescue me. Ethan, who had protected me from childhood to adulthood, came and for the first time made me apologize to Serena in front of so many people. But I clearly did nothing wrong. They mocked me first, so why did my counterattack become my fault? The atmosphere in the banquet hall dropped to freezing. Everyone was waiting for me to admit fault. I did not wrong. Maintaining my trembling voice, I declared word by word to the crowd. Serena cried on the side. Ethan's expression grew increasingly ugly. He looked at me with reproach. Yuki, you're not being good. A lump of stifled anger in my heart made me faint on the spot. I could hear everything, but my body was powerless, and I couldn't open my eyes anymore. At that time, I really wanted to say, Ethan, I want to break up. Thinking of the Ethan who protected me growing up, now treating me this way for another woman, I still couldn't bear it. Ethan picked me up and placed me on the sofa. Someone asked him, your little fiancée is too fragile, she fainted just like that. Do we really not need to send her to the hospital? Ethan snorted coldly, as if angry that I didn't listen. She's breathing, she won't die. The birthday banquet was about to start. Serena said, this cake on the ground is what Yuki brought for you. She has too much hostility toward me, even smashing it at me. Ignore this crappy cake. The birthday banquet you carefully prepared for me was almost ruined by her. This is her fault. When she wakes up, I'll make her apologize profusely to you. Tears silently slid from the corners of my eyes. I couldn't move, only hearing the crowd's cheerful chatter. Ethan, how long do you plan to hide your thing with Serena from Yuki? Many were curious, not knowing what happened. What thing? You two aren't involved, are you? Serena said, I've chased brother Ethan for 7 or 8 years. If this iceberg isn't melted, wouldn't I lose face? Ethan embraced Serena and announced to the crowd, Serena is playful and cute, the type I like. Don't let Yuki know about this for now, otherwise, if it causes a big fuss, it'll be hard to handle, and I hate trouble. So you're planning to abandon Yuki? I've been with Yuki for so many years, I'm long tired of it. She's a little stutterer, timid as a mouse, shrinking and cowering, always with a pile of messes waiting for me to clean up. Plus, she's boring in bed. Compared to her obedient little white flower type, I prefer Serena's willful wild rose. My heart was as dead as ashes, thinking back to the last year of our long-distance relationship with Ethan. His detachment had early signs. Initially, he went to Haicheng to take over the branch company. We started a long-distance relationship. Fortunately, he would fly to Beijing once a week to see me. Later, it changed from once a week to once a month, and finally, he didn't come for months. I could only make excuses for him, he was busy with work. On the day of my university graduation, I didn't tell him and bought a ticket to Haicheng. I planned to surprise him and stay with him there from then on. Arriving at his office, I saw Serena sitting on his chair armrest eating ice cream. She naturally handed it to Ethan. "Ethan, I can't finish it, here." Ethan didn't mind and continued eating Serena's leftovers. Serena had been pursuing Ethan all these years. I only heard from others that she wasn't in Beijing now. Turns out she followed Ethan to Haicheng. After confirming our relationship, the sense of security he gave me was complete. I'd never heard of any scandals with others, and he rejected all the admiring young ladies. Now I realize that his visits becoming fewer meant someone else was by his side. From childhood, Ethan taught me to tell him any grievances. I didn't choose to retreat. Serena approaching him like this made me very unhappy. I walked into his office, snatched the ice cream from his hand, and threw it into the nearby trash bin. Serena struck first. "Yuki, brother Ethan supports you, not for you to be wasteful." Ethan came over and hugged me briefly. "Why did you suddenly come to find me?" "You like this, I'm very unhappy." He knew what I meant and explained with a smile. "Jealous?" "I'm discussing cooperation with Serena. Besides, what's an ice cream? I just treat her as a sister, and she has an arranged marriage partner. What could happen between us?" I had depended on Ethan since childhood and believed his words deeply. This time I was clearly unhappy inside, but I believed him. A voice deep in my heart told me, I don't want to be abandoned again. Although I wanted to deceive myself, countless details told me he was no longer the old Ethan. He no longer clung to me after meeting like before. During this period, he often worked overtime. I frequently visited him, and Serena was always by his side. Today, I brought homemade food to see him. Serena entered the office door at the same time as me, also bringing food. Ethan, afraid I'd be tired, had Serena take me to rest in the office compartment. By the bed was a photo of the two of them, with the northern lights as the background. Serena said, "Ethan's work pressure is too high. Last month on the 12th, I took him to see the aurora to relax. You were busy with graduation and had no time to accompany him, right? Last month's 12th was my birthday. During that time, Ethan hadn't contacted me. When I messaged him, his replies were always about being busy with work." The bed was covered with daisy-patterned sheets, and even the pillows were the style Serena liked. She said casually, "Sometimes when I'm tired, Ethan lets me rest here." Over time, I added some things I like. "Make do with it, you don't mind, right?" She casually flicked her long hair again. The bracelet on her hand was particularly glaring. It reminded me of the one on Ethan's wrist. The two wore identical bracelets. Even if I was slow, I understood that Serena was declaring sovereignty. She was telling me that Ethan indulged her. I didn't want to wait for Ethan to go home together. I went out to pack up the leftover food boxes he ate. He ate what Serena brought while working. He hadn't opened the food I made for 2 hours. I picked it up and turned to leave. "If he doesn't eat, feed it to the dogs." Back home, he hugged me and explained, "Serena is a company client after all, I can't disregard her face." I asked him, "The bracelet, too?" "Yes." "The ice cream, too?" "Yes." "My birthday is in a few days. Serena said she'll organize it this time. The guests will be business elites, you definitely can't show up. Wait at home, when I return, you can celebrate with me again, okay?" At the time, I was naively ridiculous, thinking he was afraid I couldn't handle crowds, thinking he was considering my feelings. When I publicly slapped Serena and learned of Ethan and Serena's announcement, I understood. He was like those people, despising me for being a stutterer, despising my lowly status as unfit for the stage. I didn't know how long I was unconscious on the sofa. When I woke up, the banquet had ended. In my peripheral vision, I saw Ethan sitting nearby applying medicine to Serena's face. He saw I was awake, coldly appraised me, and gestured for me to look at Serena's face. "Look what you've done. How can Serena face people now? Don't think faking a faint gets you off. Now that you're awake, apologize to Serena." Once I was his untouchable sore spot, now in his heart, I was like weeds. I was in pain, saddened to fainting, but in his eyes, I was pretending. This humiliation tore at my heart tightly. I had no home, abandoned twice by so-called family since childhood. I really didn't want to be abandoned again. But I didn't want him anymore. This time, I was abandoning him. My throat was sour. I said firmly, "Ethan, let's break up." Ethan laughed in anger. To avoid admitting fault, first fake fainting, then break up, you're really shameless. He asked his friend nearby, "Has your family's chain haunted house project been completed?" "It's done, it can open soon. Let Yuki experience it first, release her when she learns to behave and admits her mistake." As I was carried away by the bodyguards, Serena mouthed to me, "Serves you right." I struggled, calling Ethan's name. He didn't give me a glance, focused on applying medicine and compress to Serena's face. I gave up struggling. The bodyguards threw me into the pitch-black haunted house. They also threw down an old phone with only Ethan's number in it. "Miss Yuki, Ethan instructed that if you admit your mistake, call him, he'll personally come to take you to apologize to Miss Serena. He couldn't bear it and advised me, this haunted house is enclosed and scary, you should apologize to Miss Serena." I turned away. I did no wrong. The bodyguard sighed helplessly and closed the door. Soon, I heard Ethan and his friend talking not far from the door. "Yuki is your fiancée after all, your future wife. Knowing she has claustrophobia, how can you punish her so cruelly? Serena is my bottom line, Yuki is just the nanny's daughter, a little stutterer, unworthy of being my wife. Once Serena and I marry, I'll keep this little stutterer on the side, it won't wrong her." So, he really didn't plan to marry me. I couldn't understand why. My whole life had been about being chosen and abandoned. My biological parents threw me into the trash bin right after birth. Fortunately, my adoptive parents picked me up and raised me until 6. During those 6 years, they were trying to conceive. When they had their own child, they reclaimed the love that was originally mine. I thought, if they don't love me, fine, as long as I have a place to stay. Soon, on a trip, they abandoned me on the highway. No matter how I ran, I couldn't catch up to the receding vehicle. I waited in the pitch-black night for hours, but my adoptive parents didn't come back. I suddenly realized I was abandoned. Later, I met my nanny mother. Her husband was infertile. She picked me up and took me home. She had been a nanny in the Pei family for nearly 10 years. Because my adoptive father was idle, indulging in eating, drinking, prostitution, and gambling, she feared he would hit me, so she begged Lady Daisy to allow her to bring me to live in the Pei family. The first time I saw Ethan was after he came home from school. I was petting his cat in the yard. He pushed me away. "Who are you, daring to touch my kitten?" He didn't like others touching his possessions. Mom made me apologize to him, but he pushed me down the stairs. Initially, our relationship was bad. Later, Mom taught me how to please him. After getting familiar, I found he wasn't so unapproachable. He was the master, I was just the nanny's daughter, and past grudges were wiped clean. Thanks to Lady Daisy, I could attend the same school as Ethan. He was 3 years older. Mom would pack meals in my backpack for me to deliver to Ethan at mealtime, and at school, I willingly ran errands for him. Just like that, I felt immensely happy. With a new mom, Lady Daisy was good to me, and Ethan treated me like a big brother. The former arrogant young master became a little sun revolving around me. Happy days don't last. After the middle school exams, Mom couldn't endure Dad's long-term domestic violence, killed him in retaliation, and finally cried to me, "Mom changed your name to Yuki, hoping you live happily, life won't be all darkness, there will always be new hope. Mom has a heart illness and can't live well with you anymore." She slashed her neck in front of me. No matter how I covered Mom's neck, I couldn't stop the blood. Mom chose to die in Dad's rental room. I was abandoned again. This blow made me even more timid and cowardly, becoming the little stutterer everyone mocked. Mom left all her money to me. On the day I packed to leave the Pei family, Ethan skipped class for the first time. "Where are you going?" "To school, dormitory, thank you, for your care these years." After the trauma, I stuttered, could only slow down, enduring discomfort to finish the sentence. He snatched my backpack and threw it on the bed. "You're not allowed to leave, I'll beg my mom to let you stay." I won't live in dorms during university, I'll come home every day. You don't dorm either, don't rent outside. I don't know what Ethan said to Lady Daisy, but she kept me. At school, everyone mocked me for stuttering, living under others' roof, I dared not speak of grievances. Ethan understood my situation, he could instantly detect any emotional change. He would take me to school to back me up. When I was extremely aggrieved, he comforted me, what's wrong with being a little stutterer? I like little stutterers. Ethan begged his mom twice for me. Once to let me stay in the Pei family. Another to beg to marry me. He knelt in the living room for 3 days, without eating or drinking, begging his mom to fulfill it. His mom was good to me, but after discovering we were dating, her attitude reversed. A prestigious family like the Pei wasn't something I could match. Ethan confronted the whole family for me, refused arranged marriages. He knelt and kowtowed to his mom until bleeding. Lady Daisy finally relented. Finally, we got engaged in front of everyone. He said we'd marry after my university graduation. I graduated university smoothly, went to him full of joy, thinking he'd marry me soon. In the end, it turned into his words, she's unworthy of being my wife. On the first day of confinement, I had difficulty breathing, endless darkness was about to engulf me. I clawed at the door until my hands bled. The bodyguard kindly left some food before leaving, but I couldn't eat. I was scared to death, such darkness devours people. After my adoptive mother's death, I had major psychological issues, I was timid, afraid of the dark, and for a long time didn't dare sleep with lights off. A new nanny accidentally locked me in the storage room for a day, I had an attack and was hospitalized for a week. That Ethan who was full of me in his heart and eyes knew I had claustrophobia, yet stubbornly locked me up. On the second day, my physical condition worsened. I opened the old phone with only half battery, flipped through the contacts. Looking at Ethan's number. Why should I yield to him? I dialed another number memorized in my mind. This was my only lifeline. The voice on the other end was steady and reassuring, patient even without knowing who called. Hello. Felix, Felix. Hearing my weak voice, Felix's breathing quickened. Yuki? What's wrong? My heartbeat drowned out Felix's anxious inquiry, my mind was all buzzing, and I fainted. I neared death repeatedly, reviving each time. I glanced at the phone about to shut down. It was the third day. A huge light pierced the door, the man in the wheelchair against the light. Before passing out, the man held me and instructed the secret room's owner, don't tell Ethan about this, or else. Felix, rest assured, absolute secrecy. Felix tightened his hold on me, Yuki, I'll take you away. Unconscious for 3 days, Felix guarded me day and night. After years apart, why was he in a wheelchair? Your leg? He avoided the topic, just had the assistant bring food and fed me personally. During hospitalization, whenever I probed why his leg was injured, he changed the subject. That day, while he was busy with an international conference, the assistant had time to see me alone. He said Felix's leg was injured because of me, he didn't want me to feel guilty, as it was all his one-sided wish. When Felix saw you with Ethan, heartbroken, he went abroad. During those years studying abroad, he immersed himself in learning to avoid thinking of you. He struggled long and told me that even if it meant being the third party, he'd snatch you away. On the day he returned to see you, he had a car accident. Hearing little Ethan kowtowed until bleeding before Lady Daisy for your engagement, he was sad in the hospital for long. Ethan paid so much to marry you, you wouldn't leave him. Our Felix became disabled, he feared you'd despise him. He changed the topic, but the leg issue is temporary, the doctor said with active treatment and strengthened rehab, he'll walk in a few months. Shortly after engaging with Ethan, Felix sent me his phone number, Yuki, if you have any difficulties in the future, find me, I'll help as much as I can. The number is simple, memorable in one go. My heart felt gnawed by 10,000 ants, I had told him before that I disliked math, got annoyed seeing numbers, especially complex ones. So his number was extremely simple, fearing I couldn't remember. The man I once looked down on was now the one saving me from dire straits. Felix was Ethan's mom's younger brother, they were only a few months apart in age. His parents passed away soon after his birth, he was raised by Lady Daisy since childhood. After moving into the Pei family, I rarely saw him, he mostly stayed in school dorms. When older, he came home often but didn't stay overnight. I was timid, he had an iceberg face, taciturn, I feared him. Every time he came home, I didn't want to see him. Fortunately, Ethan was between us, or it would be awkward. I never thought he'd like me until he and Ethan confessed simultaneously. I didn't understand, we barely spoke, why did he like me? He said dully, I like you, so I want to make you better, that's why I'm willing to tutor you. During that time, my math regressed badly, Lady Daisy had Felix tutor me. Sitting beside me, he was stricter than my math teacher, even punishing me with copying 20 times. I thought I offended him, using tutoring to punish me. So, this is a top student's love? I found his love inexplicable and rejected his suffocating affection. Compared to him, Ethan and I had more in common, less awkward. The assistant said, Felix told me that back then, because he was too dumb and didn't know how to please girls, he missed you. But now with this chance, he wants to perform well in front of you. 2 coughs came from outside, the assistant shut up scared. Don't want to work anymore? The assistant obsequiously slapped his mouth lightly and ran to push Felix to my bedside. Having his past exposed by the assistant, Felix's gaze wandered, not daring to look at me. The doctor said observe 2 more days and you can be discharged. One more thing, don't be angry. Ethan and Serena are marrying in 2 days. It was expected, my heart died long ago with his repeated hurts. I smiled dismissively, it has nothing to do with me. Felix gripped my hand tightly, this time, I really don't want to miss again, will you marry me? His assistant behind him sweated for him, probably fearing rejection. Ethan could let go of the past and start a new chapter, why couldn't I? I couldn't be double standard, he can marry others, but I can't. Okay, I agree. After discharge, I went straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get the certificate with Felix. Today, all city electronic screens showed Ethan and Serena's wedding promotions. In a blink, the sky darkened, brilliant fireworks in the night sky. Everyone wished the newlyweds happiness. In the night, I got into the Maybach parked in front of the hotel. Everything in Haicheng receded instantly. After receiving my call, Felix rushed back from abroad. This time, on the plane to abroad, he was no longer alone. Every day Ethan locked Yuki up, he repeatedly checked his phone to see if Yuki would call to admit fault and yield. Serena had chased him for many years and naturally wouldn't miss this chance. Brother Ethan, we were going to marry anyway, why not now? Yuki doesn't know, even if she makes a fuss later, she can't do anything, right? She grew up with you after all, helpless, after marriage, compensate her however you want, I won't interfere. Serena was a prestigious family's daughter, marrying into Pei brought mutual benefits. What was Yuki? Not even comparable to an ancient concubine, letting Ethan keep her on the side was already giving her face. Ethan was furious. He had always been obedient to Yuki, and it was a bit shameful for her to argue with him for so long. He agreed to marry Serena. On the wedding day, he felt inexplicably panicked, always worrying Yuki died. He asked his friend, did you send food to Yuki daily? His friend, threatened by Felix long ago, dared not say Yuki had left, only perfunctorily, yes, food, checked daily, all eaten, won't starve. He finally relaxed. Completed the entire wedding. Serena got her wish but felt regret, hastily held in Haicheng, though costing 100 million, still felt shabby. Ethan comforted, when the new branch head arrives, we'll return to Beijing and hold a bigger wedding. Serena sweetly threw herself into Ethan's arms. I'm so happy, finally married to you. Ethan dazed for a moment, recalling the engagement day with Yuki. Yuki was that happy too, even unwilling to sleep at night, clinging to him all evening. Just a pity, Yuki had no chance to marry him anymore, but keeping her on the side was fine, she disliked seeing people, so no need. Then, take her for wedding photos as compensation. He fantasized Yuki in a wedding dress, must look beautiful. Yuki was petite, even in heels, she couldn't kiss him. That day, he'd hold her up to kiss for photos. Serena kissed him, Ethan's mind still on Yuki in wedding dress, blurting dazedly, Yuki. Serena stopped, looking ugly. Ethan, we married today, you call Yuki while intimate with me? Seeing her about to erupt, Ethan wanted to pacify. He covered, no, I meant Yuki, she's stubborn, locked up half a month and still won't apologize to you. Serena snorted coldly, then keep locking her, can't let it go. Dares hit me today, will overstep with you tomorrow, truly from the countryside, doesn't know her place. The more Serena said, the angrier Ethan got. The cat he raised was so docile it dared not temper with him. Yuki, raised by him, became increasingly spoiled. As his possession, she had no right to challenge him, he needed absolute obedience. In the 2 nights after marriage, he slept uneasily. Always dreamed Yuki blaming him. Yuki cried in dreams, saying she feared the dark, the secret room's iron door clawed full of blood marks by her. At dawn, he woke startled. Seeing Serena still asleep, he sneaked out. At Yuki's confinement place, his friend was woken midnight by him. Seeing couldn't hide anymore, he guiltily explained to Ethan, on the 3rd day, Yuki was taken by your little uncle. Ethan raged, grabbing his collar, why didn't you tell me such important thing? Your little uncle forbade me. He was so angry because he knew Felix had long coveted Yuki. Yuki was naive, hard not to be deceived by Felix. He called his assistant, check for me where Yuki and Felix are, domestic or abroad. Friend advised, calm down first, we'll find them. How the fuck do I calm down? My woman ran with another man. He punched the other's face, took out phone to call Felix. Unsurprisingly, all rejected. When he returned home, dawn was breaking. Today was Serena's post-wedding return home day. Serena got up early, saw Ethan enter with cold air. Husband, where did you go? When I woke, the side was cold. Ethan anxiously paced the room. Smashed anything annoying. After smashing most, assistant called. Speak. Ethan, Miss Yuki married. He gritted, say it again. Who did she marry? Married Felix. He couldn't believe, pursued, which Felix? Felix. He flipped Serena's dressing table. Yuki wants to be my little aunt. In the loud crash, he asked, where are they now? Felix has taken Miss Yuki abroad. Book tickets now. After instructing, he hung up, rummaged for his documents. Serena heard everything, seeing Ethan's mobilization, probed, today is my return home day, where are you going? Serena, be good, go back yourself today. When I'm done, I'll find you, okay? Serena knew she couldn't keep Ethan, mocked, Yuki a stutterer, Felix a cripple, truly a perfect match. Ethan's remaining patience exhausted, he slapped her. You dare slander my Yuki? She and Felix don't match at all, she only matches me. Life or death, she's my woman. He couldn't be bothered with Serena, took documents to the airport. Settled abroad, Felix wanted to take me to his company. Thinking of meeting people, I hurriedly declined. No, no, no. Tense, I couldn't form sentences, I didn't want mockery. I didn't match Felix originally. He wiped my falling tears one by one. You're my wife, I want everyone to know you. Won't embarrass you? He looked at me surprised, kissed my face. Rest assured, my circle is clean, friends and staff high quality, no one will think you embarrass me. You're my wife, we share honor and disgrace. Though Ethan didn't show disdain for my stuttering, he never took me to meet friends or to the company. Ostensibly fearing my discomfort, actually despising me greatly. He thought someone like me as wife lowered his status, secretly married a matching heiress. Then kept me on the side as if nothing happened. Felix was different, open and generous, found me a psychologist, took me to meet various people. Every time seeing Felix in wheelchair, I fell into self-blame. If not to see me, perhaps not. Fortunately, I accompanied his treatment, almost healed. The day Felix's leg healed and we went home, like seeing a ghost. I thought I was seeing things, seeing Ethan abroad. He looked murderous, punched Felix upon sight. Why? No respect for elders. Why deceive my woman? Felix's leg just recovered, unsteady, fell. Fortunately, bodyguards restrained Ethan. Felix baffled, I'm only months older, fair competition, you lost. I panicked, seeing blood from Felix's mouth, wiped with sleeve. He cried pain, told me not to dirty clothes. Ethan said, Yuki, heard he deceived you into marrying him? Or threatened you? I glanced at Felix, walked to Ethan. I drafted in mind, said slowly word by word. He didn't deceive or threaten me, I willingly married him. He respects me, doesn't despise me for being a little stutterer, doesn't secretly marry others due to my low status, nor thinks of keeping me as a mistress. Ethan, you've married Serena, don't entangle me anymore, okay? Struggling to say so much, Ethan shook his head crying. I regret, my heart just strayed momentarily. Yuki, why can't you tolerate my one mistake? From childhood to now, have I treated you badly? I never despised your stuttering, I kowtowed to Mom for our engagement. If I despised you, would I do these? I slapped Ethan hard. I believe you didn't despise before. After Serena followed to Haicheng, how many times did you fly to Beijing? You never thought of marrying me. If I compromised, agreed to be kept outside, you still wouldn't cherish me. You regret now only because I married another, unwilling, hurt your pride, right? No, I slapped again, interrupting. This slap is for my husband, you shouldn't hit him. I turned, arm in arm with Felix into the house. Ethan shouted, Yuki, you want to be my aunt, I won't accept. Wait, I'll make you change heart. Ethan didn't stay long abroad, after seeing Yuki once, flew straight to Beijing. For the third time for Yuki, he knelt before Lady Daisy. Absurd. Absurd, you want to offend the whole Xia family for Yuki? Is marriage child's play? Now divorce again? Do you know not accompanying Serena home has already dissatisfied the Xia with pay? Lady Daisy trembled in anger, whipped Ethan with family law. Ethan gritted, Mom, even if you beat me to death today, I'll terminate the Xia alliance, I want to marry Yuki. I want to marry Yuki. Hearing Yuki's name, Lady Daisy hit harder. Yuki has married Felix, late affection is cheaper than grass. Don't know what potion Yuki gave you and Felix. When her adoptive mother died, you begged me to keep her. I thought to consider, you left, then your uncle begged to keep Yuki. What's so good about her, worth you fighting bloody for her? Ethan was beaten until vomiting blood. She's good everywhere, Yuki, I must have her. If you don't agree to terminate the alliance, I'll die today. Ethan was hospitalized from beating. Lady Daisy didn't listen. That night, she called Felix internationally. Felix. Well done, marrying Yuki behind my back, at least consult me. Consult you, you wouldn't agree anyway, right? Sister, this life I must have Yuki, no matter how far your hand reaches, you can't control my affairs. If you accept, I'll bring her back to see you, if not, can't help. You and Ethan intend to anger me to death? Lady Daisy hung up angrily. Ethan didn't stop, even made terminating the alliance public in media. Xia family lost face, Lady Daisy had no choice, cleaned Ethan's mess. Alliance terminated, cost 12 billion in breach compensation to Xia. Finally, Ethan was kicked out. This is the last time indulging you, that 12 billion, earn it back for me, or don't recognize me as Mom. Ethan finished these matters 3 months later. He went abroad to find Yuki, told her, Yuki, I've divorced Serena, can you marry me? Yuki retched in front of him. Ethan looked hurt, Yuki, do I disgust you that much? Felix showed Ethan the hospital checkup sheet. My wife is pregnant, we'll hold the wedding in a month, won't invite you. Heard you owe my sister 12 billion, hurry, go earn to repay. On Yuki's wedding day, Ethan shamelessly went, but Felix watched closely, fearing trouble, gave him a separate table, sent 18 bodyguards to surround him. He wanted to see Yuki in wedding dress clearly, bodyguards blocked. He stood, bodyguards blocked front. Warned, Ethan, Felix instructed, if you dare look at our madam again, throw you out. Ethan could only sit at table, head down sobbing. Fortunately, bodyguards blocked tightly, otherwise, the stage newlywed seeing someone cry on wedding day would be inauspicious. Wedding banquet ended, Ethan had to return home. He promised Lady Daisy to repay the 12 billion fully. Before leaving, he had someone place a note on the stone lion at the family villa door. Felix opened it, Yuki, if he treats you badly, find me anytime. I'll wait a lifetime. He tore and threw it away, didn't let Yuki know. Yuki's remaining life shouldn't have any ties with such scum.